Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Token Post interview. I am here joined by Mr. Andrei Julin and Peter Vetchenkov, both the co-founders of Insolar. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, diving right in, Insolar, or INS, provides enterprise solutions based on distributed ledger technology, or blockchain. So, with the theme of bringing people together to work together, what's the benefit from the eyes of the companies, or what does the goal or the usage of Insolar blockchain, Insolar technology?
Sure. The benefit for enterprises in brief is that we are the fastest and most advanced blockchain for business currently in the world, and we are very much proud of that. And that drills down to the fact that A, we help companies build their networks very easily. They do not necessarily have to run a node, they can join easy, and to set up a network on Insolar platform is as easy as to run a website. Second, it's near linear scalability, which we already achieved with our testnet. It's the lowest cost of ownership of blockchain in the industry, which is extremely important for enterprises. And last but not least, it's easy integration with current legacy systems of various businesses. And for the end users, the benefit is more transparent processes, ability to track authenticity and origin of the items they purchase. And of course, they can also save money because, for example, in the global shipment space, 20% of cost is paperwork. If we can reduce this paperwork for companies, we can reduce the end cost for consumers.
So when people bring up, or when anyone brings up enterprise solution, blockchain enterprise solutions, the name IBM's Hyperledger comes up to mind. And in Korea, we also have Icon, which is another enterprise blockchain solutions. So what competitive advantage does Insolar have over these currently out in the market competitors?
Yeah, current competitors on the market, such as Hyperledger or Corda, have a number of drawbacks. And this was the reason why we started building our own enterprise solution. We actually talked to hundreds of senior people in business before starting development to figure out which benefits they want and what they lack with Hyperledger and others. And one of the key advantages is linear scalability. So we have achieved 10,000 transactions per second on 20 nodes, and we will get to 1 million transactions per second on 2,000 plus nodes, which we expect to do in the next few months. And also 10,000 transactions per second is by far faster than Hyperledger could ever get. And that was not based on just changing 0 to 1s, it was based on actual smart contracts. Also importantly, as I briefly mentioned, we do not require companies to run a node, which makes it way easier to join our network. With Hyperledger, they have to run a node, and the maximum number of nodes in the system is limited. It's unlimited with Insolar, so it's a completely different game. For example, if you're a manufacturer and want to connect with all of your suppliers, Hyperledger would simply won't work.
So since a lot of nodes can take part and there can be more participants, which leads to scalability as well as the speed, right?
Correct.
So Andre, what would you say the sharp needle that the Insolar has over other competitors? How would you define it?
Actually, as Peter mentioned, our platform is very advanced. It's much more advanced in terms of both features and benefits that it brings to end customers. And one of the core features for Insolar platform for sure is linear scalability. This is a very significant limitation that currently exists for all blockchain platforms, that the larger number of nodes, throughput is decreasing. And for Insolar, it's vice versa. So the larger number of nodes joining network, the platform, the network becomes more powerful. And this is really important. This is what makes Insolar different.
So moving on to the application of Insolar, it being an enterprise blockchain solution, I would have to ask you, what would be the specific use case of this technology, of the advancement of Insolar blockchain?
Yeah, very, very good question. And our platform, Insolar platform, can be applied in different industries. Some of the industries where we see the most potential are manufacturing and retail, supply chain and logistics, natural resources, and energy and utilities sector. And for example, we identified almost 20 use cases in those industries, and we're already working with some prospects with some of the largest companies in the world from both Europe and United States, and we're very much looking for clients here in Korea. And we are very proud to be here to present our testnet, and for sure we're looking for partnership, and we'll be happy to talk to large and mid-sized Korean companies that are looking for blockchain solutions.
So Peter, this may be a personal question, but there are like a lot of fields that blockchain technology can be used, right? So there's like logistics, like mentioned, finance or medical. So what do you prefer then among all these categories?
My favorite ones are energy and supply chain. And we have talked to hundreds of experts, industry experts and executives, and also blockchain researchers. And the industries that Andrei has mentioned are the ones where we see near-term possibility for blockchain disruption. One of the cases that I like particularly is what we call supply chain of information. So today's supply chains are very inefficient, and you don't really understand what's going on. But supply chain is extremely important, especially for countries like Korea, which are one of the world's manufacturing hubs. So with the supply chain of information, there is an end-to-end visibility of what's happening with the supply chain at every second of time. Consumers could see the origin and could check the authenticity of goods, and everyone could save on paperwork, on overheads, and also increase the transaction cycle. And with increased transaction cycle, companies could do more business together, which is great.
So one interesting feature of Insolar was that it combines the feature of private blockchain to public blockchains. So I wanted to ask you guys what benefits will provide to users of combining those two separate concepts together?
Yeah, this is really very, very good question. And this is one of the key technical features for Insolar platform. Our platform is hybrid. It combines both public and private chains. And why we need it? The reason why we do this is because companies, they need to keep some information private.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so this feature will enable both kind of keeping some information private and still sharing other information with counterparties. This is the core reason why we decided to make our platform hybrid.
But combining these two, running the same chains together, wouldn't that cost a little bit more?
Actually not. I think it's might be too difficult to dig deeper into technical details right now. Yeah, but actually not. It will be same chip as, for example, keep everything in the private or public chain only. So yeah.
So like you mentioned, corporate partners and corporate, working with corporations. So in order to do that, careful expansion plan or partnership plans are going to be critical. So I wanted to ask you guys how that planning or the future partnerships or enterprise MOU plans are coming along, and what do you guys plan on doing in the coming future? Would you care to answer that?
Sure. We already started preliminary engagements with customers from North America and Europe, and we are working with one of the largest logistics companies. We are working with one of the largest electric utilities in the world, and we're also working with a mining company. And supply chain, energy, and mining are the three verticals where we already started dialogue with companies, and we hope that would lead to commercial projects in the next quarter that we will be able to announce publicly. So far, the discussions are very confidential, and unfortunately, we can't name the
I was actually going to ask you whether it was DHL or FedEx.
It's a huge company, very well known, but unfortunately, we can't name it yet. We're under NDA. But we're not working in every single industry in the world. We have this subset of industries where we believe the disruption is coming up in this year and next year, and where we'll see the most value being created.
So when it comes to area, North America, Europe, that you guys are focusing on?
Yeah, we're focused on both markets, and that's really easy for us because our team is global. We have presence across Europe and North America. We have researchers in Toronto. We have our BizDev hub in London. We have researchers in Zurich. So that really makes it easy for us to engage with customers from both the United States, Canada, Europe, but also we have high hopes of Asia, and we are planning to make Korea our premier Asian market.
So finishing up on the interview, since you guys are blockchain companies, it's kind of weird to ask this question, but the 2018 crypto market was a harsh bear market. So what are your predictions for 2019 then?
I think this year will be the year then the companies that deliver a real product and show something real will be among leaders. And for example, one of the top rating agencies in the cryptocurrency space named DP Rating, they issued a report about Insolar just kind of yesterday, and they mentioned that Insolar, our company, is doing really great, and we are in the right direction, and we are on the track to get to top 50 cryptocurrencies worldwide.
So it's time to buy the INS coin.
We cannot provide financial advice.
And what's your prediction for 2019?
Yeah, I'd say the following. What's really critical for cryptocurrencies to go up is enterprise adoption. And we at Insolar see that every month there is more and more interest from companies in terms of our product and in terms of blockchain, enterprise blockchain in general, which really gives us hope that cryptocurrencies will increase in prices, driven by real adoption, as Andrei mentioned. When we were at the conference today, we received an RFP from one of the largest Fortune 500 companies. So that really is telling us that there is so much interest and that cryptocurrencies will follow soon.
I will also be looking forward to the mass adoption of blockchain technology as well. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. That was Mr. Andrei Julin and Peter Fedchenkov, the co-founders of Insolar. Thanks for watching.